Transformational Tools. Tools to become the hero inside you. www.herotransformation.com. Introduction, taking that first step. Congratulations. You have taken the first step in shedding that old you, the one who is covered with layer upon layer of BS put there by others, and transforming into the amazing, sexy, magnetic hero that lies inside you, wanting to come out. This mini course will give you essential tools and concepts to help you through your transformational journey. You'll find cutting-edge techniques to help you find your breakthroughs and dramatically change your life. You deserve this change. You deserve to live a big life. No more trying to get something. It's time for you to be that something, to discover a greatness you only dreamed about before. My personal journey. For years I was one of those guys like you who tried everything, and nothing seemed to stick. But something inside me kept driving me to keep trying, to keep going. The hero in me wanted to emerge, but I kept stumbling. And I was super frustrated. I mean, I'm reasonably good looking, smart, good personality, doing a lot of great things in my life. Yet I was feeling tied down to this small life, this low opinion of myself. And all the things I tried to get the success I thought I deserved in my life never seemed to click. I kept thinking to myself I should be better than this. What's wrong with me? Eventually my self-doubt and frustration led me to some bad places in life, and it was there, in the throes of frustration and insecurity, that I had my breakthrough. I found what it was that was keeping me from getting it. And then I started getting it. I went from being one of the frustrated 90% who try self-improvement systems and fail to the phenomenal 10%. In fact, within a few months of my breakthrough, I became a superstar student to one of the world's elite personal coaches, who was telling me I was inspiring him. Now I'm at a point where I have the skill LS and the belief system to create the superstar identity I want for myself. The sky is the limit. It's not about getting, it's about being. I realized my whole matrix was messed up. It wasn't about finding the success I wanted, it was about being great. Whatever you think you want in life, whether it be relationships, money, friends, spiritual connection, is a byproduct of your being. When you step into your heroic self, the things you need for fulfillment will come into your life naturally, effortlessly. The more you reach for something, whether it be a woman, money, approval, anything, the more it slips out of reach. The more you allow yourself to become the amazing man you are, the more you are being that big, amazing, fulfilled man, the more you realize there is nothing out there to reach for. And then amazing things start finding you. How to use this book. This is not a novel to read at bedtime. This is an interactive study that requires your full participation. And for the lessons to have their intended effect, you need to learn and embody them. So first, take your time and carefully read the lessons. You may need to read them more than once. Repetition is critical to learning. Second, do the practices, actually do them. Keep doing the practices and make them a part of your being. Embody the practices. This is essential to any change. And please let me know about your progress, successes, breakthroughs, resistance and questions. I want to help you succeed. Email me, rit@herotransformation.com. Finally, I invite you to see this mini course, a first step in your total life transformation. After embodying the practices in here, I want you to find the inspiration to make a commitment to complete change. Commit to the whole system by purchasing the phone book and making a commitment to total life transformation. When you are ready, order it here, /phone booth. Chapter 1, The Foundation. What does it mean to be a hero? We begin our journey by discovering what a hero really is. Being a hero doesn't necessarily mean rescuing people from burning buildings or arresting bad guys. That could be your calling, but this world needs all kinds of heroes, and your inner hero will look different than someone else's. So what is a hero? A hero is connected to his inner essence and fully embodies the divine in him. A hero has let go of the negative BS of the world. He is energized from within and does not look to others for approval or permission. A hero is powerfully present and connected to the moment. A hero lives in the moment, fully embodied. His presence fills the room. People notice his presence before they even see him. A hero is courageously authentic. A hero is committed to his true self and asserts that true self in the face of disapproval from others. A hero is open-hearted, loving and recognizes the divine in everyone around him. He is connected to the divine inside himself and the divine in everyone around him. This makes him both a humble servant and a bold leader. A hero is committed to his purpose and makes his purpose his top priority. And what do you get for being a hero? There are a lot of benefits for going into that phone booth and becoming that hero. A hero is damn sexy. A man who is on his purpose, who honors the divine in himself and everyone around him, who isn't looking for approval or validation, who is courageously authentic, who is deeply present, is being his divine masculine self. There is nothing more attractive in a man. No techniques, no lines, no routines can make up for the real deal, and the hero is the real deal. A hero is fulfilled from within. A hero is living his purpose and being his true self. There is no little voice telling him to do something else, because he is living his truth. This is a process of getting to know the hero inside you, letting go of the BS that's keeping you from embodying your essence, and stepping into that heroic you. You'll be donning a new mask, a new personality, like Clark Kent going into the phone booth and emerging Superman. You aren't going to go back and fix what's wrong, you're going to create a whole new you. The man you've always dreamed of being. The man filled with purpose, fully authentic. Because the man you want to be is the man you truly are. And when you're fully authentic and living as the man you want to be, connected to your divinity, you will be the hero you were meant to be. Your hero is calling you. Are you ready? How badly do you want this? Are you ready for real transformation? Are you ready to stop looking for half measures? Are you ready to live your real dream, to be that fully evolved man you were meant to be? That's why this book came into your life. Grab this opportunity, for you. Find that part of you that's sick and tired of wanting more and falling short. Find that part of you that is sick and tired of feeling inferior to other men, of being needy and intimidated around women. Find that part of you that is sick and tired of living a second-best life. There's a lot involved in this transformation process. Whether you see it as work or inspiration depends on how ready you are to make that change. Your success in this process requires you to be willing to do whatever it takes to make this happen in your life. So find that part of you that wants to be that man. Make a promise to do whatever it takes to make that change. If you are fully committed, you will become that hero. The key ingredient to real change. The key to real transformation comes down to mindset. I want you to throw away whatever reason you originally had for coming to this place. You see, since most guys have to be pretty much dragged kicking and screaming to a place where they're willing to work on themselves, they usually have a very good sounding external reason for doing so. Not to overgeneralize, but most of the time it's success with women. Guys come into this arena to get more external success. And we think we're going to go in, find the magic bullet, to get that thing we want and get the hell out. And, years later, here we are, stuck in a quagmire, with no success. So stop thinking in terms of getting an outcome. Change for the right reason, because it's the best thing for you. So you can try a bunch of systems that promise to get you things, like women, or money, or success, and maybe have some shallow success and wonder why you're still unfulfilled. Or you can become the hero. You can step into that powerful man, on his purpose, complete and fulfilled, living a big, amazing, meaningful life. And as that hero, you can and have those things you truly desire built into your life, without needing them. You can be that man who loves himself, loves his life, loves the world and has the world loving him back, a man fully connected to his divinity and happiness. So which do you really want? That's what I thought. Now make the commitment. Your heroic commitment. Right now, take out a piece of paper. Write down today's date. Write on that piece of paper your personal promise. You are committed to becoming the hero you were meant to be, and today is the first day of your new life. Then sign it. Keep this around as your personal contract to break through into a new life. The success belief. Sitting quietly, with your spine erect, begin to notice your breath. Is your breath shallow or deep? Is your breath rapid or slow? With your next breath, make your breathing slower and deeper. Make the next breath even slower and deeper. Make each breath the slowest and deepest breath you have ever taken. Close your eyes. Feel your feet on the ground, your butt and the back of your legs on the chair. Feel the muscles in your body relax, starting from the top of your head, down your face, down your neck, into your shoulders, down your arms into your hands, down your chest and back, down your abdomen, into your pelvis. Feel your cock and balls relax. Feel your thighs relax. Feel your shins and feet relax. The key ingredient to real change, doing it for you. If you are trying to change to get women to like you, or to get money or approval from others, you will not change. It will never happen. However, if you are changing because it's something you genuinely want in your life, any change is possible. And if you want it, you will have it. Do this for you. Imagine a line going to your right, going into your future. Imagine yourself leaving the body you're in and traveling down that line. 1 day. 1 week. 1 month into your future. Feel yourself moving down the timeline to the right, further into the future. 2 months. Feel yourself moving a little faster. 4 months. Feel yourself stopping at 6 months into the future. Maybe you've mastered this book, maybe you're still going through the work, but you have made amazing strides. Now imagine a mirror in front of you. Notice how much you've changed. You've really changed. It's visible, it's tangible. Feel into your body, notice how much more embodied you feel. Feel into your emotions, you're so much more present, grounded, confident. You've done it. You've changed. There is no backsliding, only momentum to keep changing, to keep going. You've finally made it through all those old sticking points. Now, imagine this new you taking on one of those old challenges and mastering it with ease. And now having success with women, or your career, or whatever it is you're wanting, is just a byproduct of your new way of being. How does that feel? How does it feel knowing all of this has already happened? Slowly bring yourself back to the you seated there. Bring yourself into your body. Open your eyes. Know this will happen for you. Find your purpose. When you were placed on this earth, you were given a purpose. It is your unique gift and your divine expression to the world. It is what motivates a man and connects him to his divinity. It is part of your unique, amazing, divine essence. A man on his purpose is in alignment. He is powerful, focused and fulfilled. He may likely never achieve what he was set out on this earth to do. That is part of what a purpose is, a commitment to something greater than himself. While a man will not fulfill his purpose, a man on his purpose will fulfill his unique and essential part, ensuring the world he leaves behind is better for his efforts. In this way, a man on his purpose is a hero. A man on his purpose is not looking to others to tell him how to live, or looking for someone else to fulfill him. A man on his purpose is fulfilled from within. He is guided by something within that compels him to serve something greater than himself. Most men today have lost their sense of purpose. They are either looking to others to figure out what to do, or simply living lives of stunted adolescence, living for temporary pleasure with no meaningful direction. These men act like children and do not command respect from others. Often these men have hidden away their purpose out of fear, that their purpose is not acceptable, or that they are unworthy of living such a purpose. This doesn't mean a man on his purpose doesn't have fun. In fact, a man living his purpose experiences far deeper pleasure and connections because he is aligned, and thus fully able to experience the joys in life. Meanwhile, the man in rudderless pursuit of pleasure is looking to experiences to distract him from the part of his life that seems unfulfilled. Therefore he can only experience pleasure in a limited way, and is constantly anxious for acquiring the next source of pleasure. A man on his purpose is powerfully attractive to a woman, because he is fully being the man he was born to be. A man on his purpose will attract women and friends who are also drawn to his purpose. He becomes the sun around which others orbit. And because he is living his purpose, driven by something more powerful than himself, his relationships take on a new meaning. He isn't dependent on others, whether it's a woman, friends or family, for his fulfillment. His greater purpose is his fulfillment. His energy is focused on his purpose, not on gaining the approval of others. It's time for you to find your purpose. Begin exploring your purpose in life. Ask yourself, what is your purpose? Can you picture one? Is there anything that you feel compels you at your core? This doesn't have to be what you do, but what truly drives you. It's okay if nothing comes to mind, or if it's very fuzzy right now. But begin to think about it. And picture being a man on his purpose, living in the way described above. Realize you are not who you think you are. Right now, you are living someone else's life. The thoughts you are thinking, the beliefs you call true for you, your identity, the way you think, is programming that was put in there by someone else. You might tell yourself that you consciously chose to accept these things, or you have really good rational proof for what you believe and how you see yourself. But when you drill down to the core, most often you'll find all of what you see as you is someone else's thoughts, beliefs, fears, doubts and wishes. You're going to need to come to terms with this reality. You are not your thoughts. There is a real you witnessing those thoughts. You are not your identity, or the sum of your actions. There is a divine essence that transcends all thought, all ego, and all actions. I don't expect you to fully embody this right now, but I'm giving you this meditation practice, to begin differentiating your true self from the you that you have been telling yourself you are. Return to this from time to time as you continue your evolution, and the realization will become more and more clear. Meditation practice. Begin by grounding yourself as you did for the previous exercise. Spend 5 minutes in this calm state. Allow your thoughts to settle. Begin to notice the spaces between your thoughts, dive into those spaces. Allow those spaces to expand. Begin to notice how there is a you outside of your thoughts. Feel into that bigger you. Notice how you are not your thoughts, that your thoughts are like clouds in the sky and you are the sky. Feel into this you. Who is that? Chances are, up to now, you've been basing your impression of yourself on your thoughts. Thoughts that aren't you. Thoughts that, on closer inspection, aren't really yours. The man you have been thinking you are up to now is not you. Feel into that truth. There is a much deeper, simpler essence that is you. Feel into that essence. That's right. You are not your thoughts. All of your thoughts and beliefs are someone else's, accepted by you with good intentions, or just accepted without you even having the chance to decide. Now, focus your attention onto someone you know who decided they were going to tell the world who they are, and the world had to accommodate for them. Maybe an inspirational person who's making their mark in the world with a physical disability, or that ugly dude who pisses you off because he gets all the girls. Or that hot chick who wasn't supposed to be hot. Instead of seeing them as special, I want you to turn the whole thing around. They're normal. It's the rest of us who are fucked up. That's why at some level people like that both fascinate and annoy us. They are living proof that you can be the person you want to be, that nobody really is a victim of society. Can you feel their essence shining through, bigger than the beliefs of others? Can you feel that sense? Can you feel their essence shining through, bigger than the beliefs of others? Can you feel that sense of inspiration, that you could shine your essence like this person? Be with this new reality. Allow it to settle in. Notice what comes up: anger, fear, frustration. What does the idea that your limitations, the things about yourself you thought were just things you had to live with, are in fact entirely optional bring up inside you? How about the reality that the life you've been living to this point was someone else's life? How does it feel to accept that reality? Are you finding yourself resisting the reality, fighting it? Allow yourself to accept the reality that you are not the you who you thought you were, then open your eyes. The world is a little different now, isn't it? Be with this new reality. Allow it to settle in. Notice what comes up: anger, fear, frustration. What does the idea that your limitations, the things about yourself you thought were just things you had to live with, are in fact entirely optional bring up inside you? Transforming yourself through deliberate practice. Change one thing. Right now pick one thing you want to change. Make it something simple, to get the hang of this, like the way you make eye contact, or maybe an awkward grin, or eliminating one nervous gesture. After you've come up with that one thing you want to change, figure out what you want to do instead. If you pick changing your smile, maybe you want to change from a toothy grin to a closed lip, sly grin. Go through the steps. 1. Embodiment. Feel how it is to do the new thing, or feel the new belief, versus how it feels in your body to do the old thing. Bring awareness to moving toward the new thing. 2. Inquiry. Notice where your thoughts and beliefs are moving you to either stop doing the new thing or continue the old. Are things coming up like "this is not me, this feels stupid," or "I can't do this"? Stop and ask those parts of you what they want. Listen to their feedback. 3. Release. Practice letting go of negative beliefs and resistance getting in the way. There are lots of techniques coming up. For now, use this technique. A. Ask yourself what is holding you back from changing. B. Ask yourself if you can let that go. C. Ask yourself if you can let it go now. D. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, imagine this resistance or negative belief exhaling out your mouth. Continue doing B, C, and D until the it's released. 4. Acceptance. Accept yourself as you are, even as you go through this process of change. Accept the process of change, allow it space to work. Accept this is a process and that you are perfect and amazing as you are, even as you are undertaking this change. You've been introduced to the process of change, and we will be going into much more detail later. But we want to start changing now. So notice the feedback on how the change is going, go back to embodiment. Remember this recipe. It is your recipe for change. Doing everything with intention / doing everything different. A lot of this transformation practice is getting you out of autopilot and getting you to practice breaking old habits. So this is an all-day practice. Remember, it's practice, so keep going even if it's not going right. This is going to be a lot tougher than it sounds, so be patient with yourself. Throughout your day, bring attention to everything you're doing. Ask yourself if this is how you want to do it. Notice every routine. How are you brushing your teeth? How are you getting out of bed? How are you picking out and putting on your clothes? How are you eating your breakfast? How are you showering? Studies show people have a set routine for how they shower. How are you breathing? How are you moving? Even how are you blinking and swallowing? How are you interacting with people? How are you going about your work day? If you go to the gym, how are you doing the exercises? How do you decide what to eat, when to eat, How to eat. How are you driving your car? How are you walking? How are you talking? Notice everything and ask yourself if this is what you want to do. If the answer is no, immediately substitute something different, even if it feels weird. And see how much things you're indifferent to changing. Change the way you eat and shower. Change the way you do 5 things that are just things you do, and journal them. Journal how you've been doing it, what you did different and how it felt to do it differently. The hero's breath. This is the single most critical aspect to the growth process. Breath is the access to presence and to all of the exercises in this book. It isn't something you bring up only when you're working through the practices. Breathing needs to become a daily focus, so make this a practice. Keep reminding yourself to breathe properly until it becomes natural. Breath work is critical for being embodied and cultivating presence. It relaxes the body, slows down the chattering monkeys in your mind and cultivates a sexy confidence that will grow the more attention you put on your breath. The belly breath. Train yourself to make the belly breath your normal way of breathing. A man who breathes into his belly is more grounded, more relaxed, more embodied, and more sexy. It's the way we were meant to breathe, slow, deep, powerful breaths, expanding the belly with each inhale, bringing the belly in with each exhale. With this breath, you breathe in through your nose, drawing the breath into your belly as deep as possible. Your belly will expand and contract. To practice, place one of your hands on your belly, about at your navel. Place the other on your chest. As you inhale through your nose, feel the hand over your belly rise while the other hand remains steady until the end of your breath when your chest expands to complete the breath. As you exhale, the hand over your chest drops first, then the hand over your belly as you push the air completely out your mouth. With practice, this becomes a fluid motion. Throughout the day as you do this exercise, you'll mostly just breathe in and out through your nose, but take a couple minutes every hour to do deep, conscious breathing, in through your nose, out through your mouth. When practicing, imagine taking the deepest, slowest, fullest breath possible. Imagine this breath going as low into your abdomen as possible. Breathe into your balls. Then make the next breath deeper and slower. And the one after that deeper and slower still. Practice holding your breath a moment at the top and bottom. At first, training yourself to belly breathe will be a conscious effort. While we began life breathing in this way, most of us switched to chest breathing, which is tight, shallow and constrained. So make a conscious effort to breathe into your belly. Notice when you are not belly breathing and bring awareness to it. Eventually, your neurology will shift and you will naturally belly breathe without conscious effort. Even at this point, continue to bring conscious awareness to your breath, making it as deep, as full and as slow as possible. Grounding meditation. This is a critical practice for being grounded and centered, for the purposes of our transformational practices, and to find your center throughout your day. Practice this regularly and it'll go a long way toward creating the deep presence you need. First, find yourself a place that is quiet and free from distraction. Sit so that your spine is erect. Close your eyes and begin breathing the belly breath. Feel the air going in and out of your lungs. Notice the feeling of the air massaging your lungs as you inhale, giving you life energy, and feel the impurities leaving your body through your exhale. Make each breath slower and deeper than the last. Feel your feet being supported by the floor, which is supported by the ground. Feel your legs and butt supported by the chair, which is supported by the floor, which is supported by the ground. Feel your connection to the ground, to the earth. Feel into your body, noticing any places of tension or numbness. Bring awareness to those places until they open up. Notice your thoughts becoming more and more distant as you bring more awareness to your breath, your body, and your connection to the ground. Feel into your heart. Feel it open, loving and accepting yourself, loving and accepting this moment and everything in it. Feel a sense of peace and tranquility spreading throughout your body. This is time just for you. Feel into two spaces between your thoughts until your thoughts are like clouds in the sky and you are the sky. Feel into that sense of wholeness and completeness in this place. Imagine it until you feel it. This is a concept I learned from Barbara Carrellas in Urban Tantra. I cover this deeply in the phone booth, because it is a super powerful concept for creating authentic transformation. In the ebook I deeply explore the concept and give you powerful exercises. I want to give you an idea of the power behind this concept by introducing you to subtle energy. Step 1. Use the grounding and centering meditative exercise to bring yourself into a relaxed, peaceful state. Step 2. Focus your attention on the area around your heart chakra. Imagine there's a ball of energy 6 inches outside your chest that's emitting warmth. Picture the ball in your mind in whatever way works best for you. Imagine that ball growing warmer and stronger in energy. Imagine its light growing stronger. Allow this energy to grow for about 5 minutes. Step 3, imagine this ball of light entering your chest, bringing that warmth into the area of your heart. Feel the area of your heart becoming warmer. Now feel that warmth slowly radiate throughout your body. Notice whatever emotions accompany this. Step 4, open your eyes and notice what you feel in your chest. Is it different? Is it a little warmer? Is it relaxed? What do you feel in the rest of your body? If you felt something, even if it's just a twinge, congratulations. You just experienced the concept of subtle energy and imagine it until you feel it. If not, you took the step of imagining it. Continue this exercise daily until you experience the tangible feeling of energy awareness in your heart. By using imagination to create your reality, you are practicing the concept of imagine it until you feel it. Chapter 2, Visualizing Your Hero. There's an amazing, sexy, powerful hero inside you, ready to come out. You've dreamed about being him from time to time, but probably told yourself you couldn't really be that man. Maybe it felt good to imagine yourself as that fully evolved, carefree, amazing man, on his purpose, making the world a better place, but you told yourself it was a fantasy. That's why you were just stuck with the you that you were being, and to just get used to it. I believe the key to changing yourself is not to go back into your past and fix everything you think is broken in you, because you're not really broken, just viewing yourself with a distorted lens. The key to true, fully aligned, authentic change is to listen to your heart, find the man you truly want to be, and become that man. Stop looking for things to fix, just be the hero. Unlike the man you are being today, YCH is a collection of other people's beliefs and thoughts. The man you want to be is in fact your real self. The real you, the fully aligned, authentic you, is not broken. There is nothing he needs to go back and fix. Whatever shortcomings he has, he's accepted and owned them, because he's authentic. He is living his purpose, being who he is without apologies. The world resonates with a man like this, because he is real. It is this man, the hero you've been telling yourself you're not, that you will become. And when you do, you will feel that sense of wholeness and completeness. You will be aligned and authentic. You will be you. It's time to start the journey toward your inner hero, free from the constraints of the past or the concerns about what others believe is ideal. This is about you, finally seeing yourself as the man you truly want to be. And that man you want to be, that ideal self, is your true self. It is the manifestation of your heart's desire, your authenticity showing up in the world. It is you, free and fully expressed. Free write. For the next day or two, free write, either with pen and paper or computer, on the man you truly want to be, the hero inside you. Imagine there's no limit, and nobody to answer to. What would you do? How would you act? How would you dress? How would you carry yourself? What would you be feeling on the inside? Put everything on the list, until you feel great about it, then put it aside, The next day, pick it up, read it and make any changes. Try to picture yourself and your life being this man. Notice where you're feeling doubts or anxiety. It might feel a little edgy, that's good. Being your ideal self isn't about being comfortable, it's about doing what is true for you. Seeing yourself as the hero in your future. Begin by grounding and centering as described earlier. Even in this mini course, lessons are stacked on each other for powerful effects. You are just getting a sample of what is covered in the phone booth. Next, visualize yourself as the hero of your dreams. Allow yourself to dream big. Now imagine yourself moving forward in time, through your timeline. Picture yourself as this hero a week from now. It still feels strange, maybe challenging, but you're starting to feel some positive benefit from it. It's still work, but there's some success coming. Now go out 3 weeks, 21 days of dedicating yourself to a new way of being. Notice how things that felt awkward and difficult now seem to be becoming habit. Notice how your new way of being is beginning to make positive changes in your life as it kicks in. Now picture yourself 3 months from now, 3 months of not just trying out being a hero, but living it. Look at yourself in the mirror, carrying all those successes, feeling the difference, excited in a whole new way about life. Feel how that old weight is getting lighter, things seem a little easier. Notice how, maybe this has inspired you to make more changes. Now picture yourself 6 months from now, 6 months of living the life of a hero, on your purpose, connected to your essence, of all the successes, of the inspiration for even more change and growth. 6 months. Feel all the breakthroughs in your life, how you feel like a new man. Look at yourself in the mirror, the power, the energy, the way that old weight is off your shoulders and just a memory, and now you're on this awesome new path. Go a whole year into the future, a year of the snowballing of successes and positive change. A year of making changes and seeing them through, of writing the script of your life, of inspiring yourself to new levels of greatness. Look back on that year, how you accomplished more than you ever could have imagined. Now you're inspiring others, people are looking to you to help guide them along their path. Go 5 years into the future, 5 years of the accumulation of amazing experiences, personal transformations, phenomenal successes. 5 years of inspiring yourself and others. Imagine the new people in your life, the new relationships, the new levels of happiness and bliss, whole new pathways opening up, a whole life of possibilities that seemed like an impossible pipe dream 5 years ago. Now you're living the dream. Now go 10 years into the future, 10 years of living in this powerful way. Look at yourself in the mirror. 10 years of the culmination of changes and successes building on each other, 10 years of this momentum, 10 years of living this amazing life. Picturing yourself there, think back to now, how this began with one change, and how you couldn't even recognize that guy from 10 years ago now, and how grateful you are for making that change. Go 20 years. 20 years of leading other men, of being a powerful force in the world. You are one of the truly elite men who have made impossible changes in their lives, and just keep growing, faster and faster, day by day. Sure, you're older, and infinitely more attractive, sexy, powerful, inspirational, successful and blissful than the younger version of yourself. You're at the pinnacle of your life, living a life few men can even dream of. And it's yours, and your best days are still ahead of you. Go 30, 40, 50 years, feeling the effects of this massive change and how it's making the world better. And how it all started with one step, with one commitment. Now go to the end, the point where you're about to cross over, and look back. Look back at this phenomenal life. Look at how you not only lived life to the fullest, you lived a life while you couldn't even imagine possible at earlier points in your life. You've transformed other lives, created a movement in the world. And it all started with one decision to change, to commit to authentic change in your life, to make that change for you. Bringing that energy back, come back to this moment. Come back here and feel that energy in you now, that inspiration for change, that truth that this new belief is your belief, it's your destiny. This is your first step into greatness. Allow that to sink in. Breathe it in deeply. Allow it to integrate into your being. Allow it to inspire you as you take that first step towards that incredible new future. Revisiting your purpose. It's time to revisit your sense of purpose, now that you have begun to visualize your inner hero. So right now, articulate your new purpose, write it down. Start with that free write exercise, and brainstorm on your purpose until you find what makes you cry. Keep at it. At this point, it may not take that long. You may already know your purpose, or have a good idea what direction it is in. Next, make that purpose as detailed as possible. What is your mission in this world? It's something big that can manifest itself in every part of your being. It's something that inspires you and is your passion. It is the purpose of your inner hero. Close your eyes, do the grounding exercise, and ask yourself what is your purpose. Listen for the response, and note it. Ask for details until you have a clear picture, or as clear as you can get at the moment. Switching your mindset from critic to fan. You are the hero of your life. So it's time you stopped spending your energy figuring out ways you're doing it wrong, and start treating yourself like the hero you are. This is part of an ongoing effort, but bring conscious attention to seeing yourself as the celebrity of your life. You are the hero, and you're also your biggest fan. When you find yourself being critical, consciously switch gears and idolize yourself. You might have to really go over the top with this at first. The world out there is a very negative place, and there is strong resistance to people who genuinely think the world of themselves. There are billions of people out there who will be more than happy to point out the W's you screwed up. Don't be one of them anymore. From now on, it's okay to screw up. In fact, there really is no such thing as screwing up, only doing things in alignment and out of alignment. If you're on your path and being authentic, then whatever you're doing is part of your world. You love your world, you love who you are the celebrity of your life, so go ahead and be the star. If you have to imagine yourself as your biggest fan, start there. Just keep redirecting your energy and awareness to being the star, no matter what's going on outside. You're the hero on your path, really dig being that light in the world. Chapter 3, Presence. Presence is both the foundation for all growth work, and a goal unto itself. It isn't some thing that you can do, but it is something that can be accessed, strengthened and expanded through conscious practice. It is about being in the here and now, being within yourself at all levels, and experiencing life in the moment. Presence is something that is felt by others. A man who is present is magnetic. He commands attention. People are drawn to him. Presence is also something that can be felt within. With presence, there is a solidness, a feeling of depth, a feeling of being in this moment. It is a place where thought goes away and there is harmony between you, your body, and your experience. It is a place where every moment becomes a work of art, a place of endless possibilities, a place from which enormous change can occur. Presence is sexy. A man who is present is felt, because he is bringing all of himself into the moment. A man who is present can be a naturally great lover. No amount of skills or experience can compensate for a lack of presence, and presence has the potential to enhance a sexual experience beyond anything found in any manual. Presence is a place where the mind is silent, so you are being in the moment. It is a place where you are embodied, feeling all the places in your body, feeling the sensations in your body, and feeling your emotions and experiences as physical sensations in your body. It is a place where you fill your space and bring awareness to the world around you. It's a place where you allow yourself to take in your experience and the experiences of people in your experience without thought. With presence, there is nothing to get, nothing lacking. Instead, it's a peaceful, solid feeling of connection and being. It's being within yourself and feeling your being around others. It's bringing yourself fully into the moment. Presence feels like a solidness in yourself, stillness and quiet in your mind, a connection with your body, your experience, and others. It's the feeling when the mind turns off and you're just there in the moment. When you've experienced a moment of natural beauty that took your breath away and for a moment you had no thoughts, just feeling the beauty of the moment, that was presence. The elements of presence are stillness, embodiment, awareness and wholeness. Element 1, stillness. To get into a state where your mind is still requires continual practice. First and foremost is your breath. Practice the belly breath and make your breath a conscious focus throughout your day. Remind yourself at every opportunity to take the biggest, fullest, longest breath possible. Remind yourself to breathe with your belly until it becomes a habit, and it will, just give it time. Another element of stillness is meditation. Practice the grounding meditation 4 times a day. Use the meditation exercises to find deeper stillness. A third element of stillness is creating stillness in all aspects of your daily life. Notice all the places you're consciously or unconsciously creating chaos and unnecessary disruption. What things could you add to your living arrangement that would bring you peace? Make a conscious effort to clean out the discord and stress in your life and consciously build a loving, still environment. Presence is a practice and a lifestyle. You don't have to change religions or turn your place into a shrine, just bring conscious awareness to your environment and how you're treating yourself. Bring your space into alignment with who you want to be, bring your space into presence, and that will help bring your being into presence. Element 2. Embodiment. Presence is about being in your body, not in your head. It is actually possible to go through your day not thinking, actually experiencing your world and your emotions in the moment and in your body. A lot of guys are not used to feeling anything in their body. Their bodies are tight and often numb. We need to open up your body and get you used to feeling sensation. In the phone booth, I provide physical exercises for basic stretching and awareness. I highly recommend you find some kind of regular physical exercise regimen that gets you in your body. Some options include yoga, martial arts and boxing. If the gym is more your thing, as it is for me, focus more attention on exercises that expand your muscles and incorporate full body movements. 2 excellent programs are Code of the Natural www.codeofthenatural.com, and 15-Minute Hell www.15minutehell.com. What I love about these programs is they are both very affordable, very easy to start using, and very adaptable to other workout programs, like free weights. They are both also very chakra-friendly. The exercises open up energy channels. And, I will add, I'm not getting a dime for mentioning them, which is probably my stupid, but I offer these because I believe in them and use them myself. The other part of embodiment is learning to notice your emotions in your body as they come up. It's critical to begin disassociating your emotions from the thoughts, which are often nothing more than a rationalization for the emotions. Learn to feel what is going on in your body as you experience emotions. Where do they show up in your body? What is the feeling like? When we're talking about emotions, it's important to get past the thought. When someone says I feel you are mistreating me, that's not an emotion. That's a judgment. It's coming from the mind, and it's disembodied. Get past the rationalizations and judgment to the actual feeling. It'll be something like sadness, joy, anger, fear, warmth, compassion, empathy, tension, resistance, emptiness. Those are actual feelings, and will have an association in some part of your body. Begin noticing when they come up and how those feelings manifest in your body. Element 3, Awareness. Awareness is about bringing your full attention to your being, the moment you're in and the world you're experiencing in that moment. When you are fully aware, there is no place for judgment, either of yourself or others. You're accepting everything as it is, and bringing your whole self into every moment. Awareness includes awareness of the world around you and your space in the world. Realize that your space extends beyond your body. Practice expanding and contracting your spatial presence with this 30-second exercise. 1. From a place of grounding, imagine your awareness expanding like ripples in a pond around you. Imagine the space coming into your awareness in your domain. Any people in this domain are your guests, and you are the host of the party. Any things in this space are a part of your domain. Feel into this space and expand it as far as you can. At the farthest point, breathe in this presence, embody it for about 20 seconds. 2. From this place, begin contracting your presence, feel yourself withdraw. Pull your awareness in until it is just outside your skin. Feel this non-presence for a few seconds, then allow it to expand, slowly and naturally, to its comfortable space. You'll find, over time, that your natural space will expand. As you play with presence, you'll find you naturally gravitate toward presence. The effort of pushing out and pulling in conditions your mind to feel what presence is. Your mind likes presence, and will direct your way of being naturally toward presence. This practice of awareness is critical to cultivating presence. Here's one you can do throughout your day. Practice noticing when you're not present. Throughout your day, notice the times when you're not being present. 1. Notice when you're saying things you don't mean, especially the little things you're saying in your conversations that you're saying to fill space. 2. Notice when your behaviors are on autopilot and you're just doing what you always do instead of what you really want to do. Become aware of the ways you've been allowing yourself to be driven by habit, instead of conscious choice. 3. Notice when you check out to avoid experiencing something. When do you dry foot into daydream and fantasy? When do you go into your head and start thinking of things, instead of experiencing your reality? When do you withdraw into your own world? 4. Notice the things you are doing that are drawing you away from your experience. This could include having the TV or radio on to fill space when you aren't even watching or listening, pointless internet surfing, or any other activity you're just doing without any real awareness, and often without any real enjoyment. 5. Notice when you re-distracting yourself from your experience through nervous habits or gestures, or allowing thoughts to interrupt you. Are you in the moment and then suddenly get this urge to check your phone or your email when you really don't need to? 6. As you notice the ways you are not being present, give yourself credit for your awareness. The path to presence is through awareness of not being present. So don't beat yourself up and think, damn, I'm not being present. Just note what it feels like to not be present and how your mind got you out of presence, and remember it's a practice. Throughout your day, ask yourself, how am I feeling now? How am I breathing now? How much space am I holding now? Where is my attention now? Keeping awareness on your being, especially when you're not being present, is the key to cultivating presence. As you train your mind to notice presence and non-presence, your mind will do the work of moving you to presence. Element 4, Wholeness and Fulfillment. Presence requires wholeness and fulfillment. A mind filled with self-doubt will have difficulty in finding presence. Practice affirming daily that you love and accept yourself as you are. Affirm daily that you are awesome the way you are and things are perfect the way they are. In your meditations, imagine yourself being filled with wholeness, peace and fulfillment. And the good news is you don't need anyone nor anything, you were born with everything you need to be fulfilled. It may take you a while to remember what it's like, but you can teach yourself. It's possible to find complete fulfillment while sitting in a dark, empty cave. People do. I personally haven't, and don't have much desire to. I have found a lot of fulfillment just doing nothing at home, or just sitting under a tree. So give yourself wholeness and fulfillment now. Picture a time when you felt fully content. If you have to, imagine yourself in a place of complete contentment. And imagine giving yourself that feeling until you begin feeling it. Keep reminding yourself this is your birthright, you don't have to earn it, just take it, take every bit you can handle, and take it now. Gaining awareness of your bad habits and other resistance. 1. Throughout your day, bring attention to your bad habits and quirks. A. Physical, holding tension, especially in your face, distracting movements or pace of movements. B. Conversational, interrupting people, saying what you don't mean, words like and or diminishing what you mean to say with words like kind of or maybe. C. Emotional, inability to hold eye contact, self-sabotaging thoughts, self-doubt, needy/clingy behaviors. 2. Notice how these are all resistance to feeling your true self. Bring awareness to this resistance and ask yourself what you are feeling in that moment that's bringing up this resistance. 3. Welcome more of that feeling you've been unconsciously resisting. There is so much more to talk about with presence, but it requires deep, fully integrated practice. What I've given you may seem like a lot, but it is only the surface. When you are ready for the Jedi level work, order the phone book, and get ready to have your world rocked. Chapter 4, Inquiry. Inquiry is a process of self-reflection, of gently and lovingly digging deeper to find the sour key of things that appear bad or wrong. Inquiry isn't about judging yourself, thinking you're a failure, or convincing yourself something about you is wrong. It is about objectively and courageously exploring and discovering more and more about yourself. It is about finding those places where you haven't been fully loving yourself, to bring love, not blame, to those places. Inquiry leads to discovery, release, acceptance and wholeness. There is no shame or judgment here, because there is nothing to judge. This is you. This is about you living a life in alignment with your true self. There's no good or bad. There's in alignment and out of alignment. Things in your life that are in alignment feel solid and empowering. They feel like a natural and positive part of you, who you are, and who you want to be. Beginning the inquiry. I want you to take out 3 pieces of paper. On the first one, I want you to write down all the things you dislike about how you are, habits, perceived shortcomings, your living situation, everything about you and your life that you dislike. On the second page, write down all the things you think other people don't like about you. They can be things you like about yourself, or things you don't like about yourself, but they're things you think others dislike about you. On the third page, write down all the things you dislike in other people, every little, or not so little, pet peeve you can think of. If you're like me when I started this journey, those 3 lists are going to be quite long. Most of us start off this journey by handicapping ourselves pretty good. We're very good at being very harsh toward ourselves, and we also do a good job of projecting that lack of self-love onto others, who we believe also dislike us, and whom we in turn dislike, or proactively dislike, to avoid the pain of having our negative beliefs about ourselves confirmed. For that third list, I want you to go through it objectively and cross out the truly evil acts you might have included. I believe it's natural, healthy and perfectly evolved to have a strong, committed intolerance to true manifestations of evil. In fact, I encourage you to do your part, in your way, to keep that evil out of your world as you keep it out of your heart. What you'll find, however, is even after culling out truly evil acts, you're left with a very long list of things people are doing in this world that you don't like, that are neither good nor bad, just things people are doing that annoy you. And guess what? All 3 of these lists represent things you dislike about yourself. Either you are doing some of these things, and don't like that you're doing them, or you're ashamed of things you like to do, or you're afraid you might do some things, and you're keeping yourself in line through the judgment of yourself and others. Let's create an example, so you can see where I'm going with this. Let's say you don't like to eat strawberry ice cream. Fine, no problem so far. But let's say, for whatever reason, it really bothers you when you see someone eating strawberry ice cream. And before you laugh at my example, I'll tell you there are people who get really upset with others for eating dairy and or refined sugar products. Hey, I'm all for healthy living and encouraging positive change, but if you're feeling angry at someone eating strawberry ice cream, even if you think you have got really compelling reasons to be angry, that's an opportunity for an inquiry. Witnessing yourself. Assume there is some self-limiting belief driving every single one of those negative things you've written down. You may go through the entire process and find a certain taste or preferences in alignment with your truth, but most likely it'll be within a space of acceptance for yourself and others. There will be no anger, frustration or shame associated with your taste or preference, or toward people who disagree with you. But for now, we're going to assume every one of those things you wrote down is driven by a certain level of dislike for yourself. Yes, even the neighbor who lets his dog poop on your lawn, even the ex who slept with your 5 best friends, even that politician you can't stand. Here's a tip: when you come across something that triggers a thought pattern, a distraction or a desire to justify your feeling, this is something your mind is fighting mightily to avoid having you feel. Ask yourself, what is it about this feeling you're wanting to avoid? Digging deeper. As you get through the distractions and actually feel the feeling, invite more of that feeling. What does it feel like in your body? Breathe into that feeling. Let go of the thoughts and really feel what that emotion you've been trying to avoid feels like. You'll find it's not all that horrible to feel whatever it is you've been struggling to avoid all this time. Now we'll take it a step further. What's driving that feeling? Ask yourself what it is that's bringing up this feeling. Notice how the feeling changes. Maybe you started being angry at your ex-girlfriend and now you feel sad about being teased in the 4th grade. It likely won't be logical. It's difficult to logically understand how these self-limiting beliefs get mapped. Don't bother trying to be logical, you'll get nowhere. Stick to the feelings, however silly or disconnected they might appear. This is how magic happens. As you discover that your feelings towards something you disliked are driven by something totally unrelated, often the original object of dislike will lose its charge. Self-limiting beliefs exist in darkness. Often just bringing honest awareness to them is enough to make them vanish. If not, there is another stage: release. Once you dig down one level, keep going. Keep feeling into the emotions, and realizing the emotions are not so bad to experience, and feeling into what's behind those emotions. Go as far as you can. Eventually you will come across something that feels like a truth, but which causes you discomfort and unhappiness. This is a self-limiting belief. Noticing the pattern. As you witness the negative triggers on those lists, you'll begin to see a pattern. Certain types of things trigger certain negative reactions. You may even notice whole sections on each of the lists that no longer trigger anything, as you expose what was really triggering your negative response. You'll notice that your anger toward others is almost always a distraction for some hurt you're causing yourself, or some hurt you experienced in the past which you haven't allowed yourself to let go. As you have your aha moments through inquiry, you'll begin to see how this pattern plays out in other areas of your life, how negative feelings you've experienced throughout your day are not what they seem. There's something else behind them, which can be released. You can be free to feel relaxed and carefree, instead of sad, angry or annoyed. Notice how things going on around you are a reflection of these patterns. People will give you the energy you're giving out. Instead of seeing the world around you as stuff happening, learn to see it as the reflection of the energy you're sending out into the world. If you don't like it, there's an opportunity for an inquiry. Does this seem pretty deep to you? This is just scratching the surface of the work that's in the phone booth. But just these parts you're getting now may be more than you've experienced up to now. So take your time going through this. Journal your progress. And offer me feedback or questions, writ@herotransformation.com. And when you're ready to go big, order the phone booth. /phone booth. Chapter 5, Releasing the Negative. This is all about letting go of all that stuff you've been carrying around that isn't really a part of who you are. What follows is designed to help you let go of the resistance, negative emotions and self-limiting beliefs that aren't serving you, to bring your life into alignment and free up space to be your ideal self. This is where the most tangible breakthroughs occur, because you will actually feel this weight you've been holding on to, that negative energy that's been causing you pain and getting in your way, go away forever. What is releasing? Releasing is the process of letting go of something we're holding on to that's not serving us. It is a conscious process of shifting into alignment and taking out the psychic garbage in our lives. Releasing operates on the subconscious level. You can't will a release. This isn't about convincing yourself of the merits of letting go of a belief or feeling. It's about allowing that irrational, emotional part of your mind to do what it already wants to do. Let go of something in order to better serve you. Your subconscious mind is not your enemy. It is your servant, but most of what's going on is unmonitored at the conscious level. It's a computer that operates in the background. Issues, beliefs and feelings will stay in the long after they've served their usefulness, if they ever really did serve a useful purpose, and your mind will just keep running that program until that program is either erased or modified. That's what releasing is about. What does releasing feel like? It's a feeling of lightness, an opening. Often the releasing will be accompanied by emotions that had been trapped. Laughter and sobbing are common during release. Allow those emotions to flow through uninhibited. Welcome those feelings and they will pass through your body in their time. Then you will be left with a lighter feeling. When you release, you may notice certain behaviors changing almost on their own. As you release the beliefs behind certain habits, the behaviors will often cease on their own, as you have no more use for that way of being. Sometimes a release can trigger a cascade effect. You'll release one self-limiting belief and it will unblock others that will then release on their own. It can feel like wave after wave of release. Welcome the feeling, avoid analyzing what is being released, just focus on the feeling of release. Your mind knows what it's letting go. Your mind knows it isn't serving you anymore. Just let it continue its work of letting go. You are not your feelings or beliefs. As you go through life, feelings and beliefs get dropped into your subconscious mind without you actually putting them there. Or maybe you did place a belief there, but it was based on bad information, or a false perception of reality. Often they are someone else's dreams and perceptions of reality that we have mindlessly accepted as our reality. Until we go about consciously releasing the negativity, we are all living someone else's life. This means you don't have to take your self-limiting beliefs or negative emotions personally. They are not you. You don't need to feel any attachment to these beliefs, or feel bad about yourself for holding on to these feelings and beliefs. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you for having self-limiting beliefs, or for wanting to take out the garbage. What's important is that you honor the fact that a part of you, the real you, invited these feelings or beliefs into you and gave them a space. This part of you did this out of a good intention. This part of you wants to serve you. There's nothing bad or wrong about this part of you, and you are not your own enemy. All you're doing is taking that unhelpful belief out of the hands of that part of you and letting it go. That's it. So be a good friend to yourself as you go through this. Avoid shame, guilt or anger toward yourself. This is an exercise in love, not self-punishment. Start small, then build up. Work on releasing small blockages or self-limiting beliefs first, to get used to the idea of releasing. You may have to imagine yourself releasing something at first, until you can feel yourself actually releasing. Different exercises will work better for different issues, so go through the attached exercises and use the ones that are most effective for the situation. As you become more accustomed to releasing, take a day and dedicate it to releasing. You have a lot of stuff in there that needs to be released. This is your chance to give yourself an emotional cleansing, to release the things that are getting in your way and distracting you from your path. Making releasing a practice. As you become more aware of how you release and integrate the exercises, begin releasing throughout your day as things come up. Making letting go a daily practice keeps your channels open and encourages spontaneous release. Eventually releasing will become a subconscious practice that will happen without your conscious direction. But continue to make a conscious effort at releasing. Keep expanding the process. Are the things you thought you couldn't release before because they were too big? Try tackling them now. Are the new things coming at you that you want to release right away? Go ahead and release them. Maybe a certain releasing exercise didn't work for you at first. Try it now and see if it works. Adapt the exercises to fit your personal style of release. Keep going, keep expanding. Use the following exercises as a reference. Release something. Right now, you're going to practice releasing. Start with something small, some little stress or self-limiting belief that doesn't have a big emotional charge. Armed with what you've just learned, and all the tools you've acquired up to this point, you're going to let it go. You're going to ask yourself to let it go. If you have to, imagine the feeling of releasing that little, annoying thing from your life. Keep with this until that feeling of release is real. Then do one more, just to get the hang of it. Breath release. This is an exercise I learned from mentor Destin Gierach, www.eroticrockstar.com. This is a way to release tension and resistance manifesting in your body. Practice first when you are not feeling resistance. Breathe in, putting all of your attention onto the area of tension. Feel your inhaling breath expanding that area like a balloon with each inhale. When you exhale, imagine the tension and the emotions and beliefs associated with that tension, whether you're aware of what they are or not, releasing and leaving through your exhale. When you actually feel tension, breathe into it gently, using smaller, less powerful breaths until that area relaxes more and you can expand and bring more power into your breath. You can imagine cleansing energy flowing into this area with every breath, and that breath pulling the negative energy out of the area of tension, and out of the parts of your mind that is driving this tension, and exhaling that negative energy. I have included a ton of incredible, mind-blowing, life-changing releasing exercises, ones that have transformed aspects of my own life I thought I was just stuck with. These killer, cutting-edge exercises are worth the price of the ebook all by themselves, because they will bring you a level of peace and confidence you didn't know existed. When you're ready to really let go, purchase the phone booth. Chapter 6, Self-Acceptance. Acceptance versus complacency. Self-acceptance is about loving yourself as you are, regardless of the circumstances. Complacency is about loving your limitations. A man who is self-accepting is a yes to himself. He loves all the parts of himself as they are. He loves himself as he is being now. He knows there is no right way to be, there is nothing he needs to prove, there is nothing he needs from others to be happy. A man full of self-acceptance gets his approval from within. There is nothing to prove. He doesn't give to get, because he's fulfilled from within. And a man who is self-accepting loves the part of him that wants to change. He loves where he is and loves that he wants more out of life. He has a path and loves being on that path. He's not changing to get away from the uncomfortable feeling of being himself. He's changing to bring out more of himself. A complacent man may think he's happy, but he's accepted limitations for himself and made those limitations his identity. He's not really happy being where he is, but he's decided in his mind that this is the way it is, and he's chosen to be content with the constraints he has imposed on himself. A man with self-acceptance who is behaving in a shy way will own up to his feelings and behavior and accept himself behaving this way, while at the same time deciding he would also like to try being more socially open in a way that works for him. He loves himself, and while he accepts his shyness, he isn't attached to it one way or another. It's one of many ways of being. A complacent man will say, "I'm shy. That's just the way I am." He's given himself no room to grow and change. Self-acceptance is self-love. It's being a yes to oneself. Complacency isn't self-love. At best, it's tolerance, but often it's a form of resignation and collapse. Instead of accepting his way of being, the complacent man accepts society's label for his way of being and limits himself. They're not two sides of the same coin, or varying degrees of being a yes, they are in fact opposites. True self-acceptance is about finding those areas of complacency, where you're settling or not fully loving and expressing yourself, and releasing. Getting out of your comfort zone. The practice of getting out of your comfort zone is a process of affirming your self-acceptance and releasing your complacency. This means not just doing something that might cause you embarrassment, to get used to feeling embarrassed for the sake of doing something different. It's about really finding those areas where you're holding yourself back from doing what you want to do, releasing those barriers, and allowing yourself to then do what you're already inspired to do. I could be crazy, or edgy, or risky, but it's not the doing crazy, edgy or risky things that is the practice, it's the process of getting out from behind the roadblocks on your own growth path. My experience is the fastest growth comes from looking within to discover what it is you want, finding what it is that's keeping you from doing what you want, and releasing that barrier. Then you'll be doing what you want naturally, because it's what you want to do, and there's nothing in your way. Charging through your barriers can, over time, work, but it takes a lot of time, energy, stress and determination to fake it till you make it through actions alone. And most people will give up and be convinced they're just not the kind of person who can do that, falling into complacency. Only people with very strong willpower succeed at fake it till you make it. To me, that whole process of making myself do things I don't like until I like them, because it's for my good, feels like finding a wall and banging your head against it until you achieve a breakthrough. I spent years working on that technique and the progress was slow and painful. And life is too short to spend being miserable doing all the things that make you feel uncomfortable, in the hopes that someday you'll be doing the things you really enjoy. How about enjoying life now? My real breakthroughs came when I began figuring out how to create bigger comfort zones from within. Then I could go to that place I wanted to be without any stress and spend a lot more time enjoying my life instead of stressing myself out getting out of my comfort zone. Life doesn't have to be hard, you can choose the easy way. Begin with acceptance. And this starts with self-acceptance, or being a yes. You can choose, right now, to love yourself and love your life. Not being okay with things the way they are, but really loving and enjoying who you are and how you're being in this moment. Give yourself permission. Make it a practice. Remind yourself throughout the day, I really love being me, and feel it. If you have to, imagine it. Keep going back to this feeling of loving yourself and loving how you're living your life right now. You're loving your life as you're reading this sentence, not at a later point when you stop reading and get on with your life. You love yourself and you love your life now, right now, no justifications, no excuses, nothing to do, nothing you need from anybody or anything. The more you bring this feeling into your way of being, the more you want for yourself. You get a taste of how good it can be to be yourself in this moment. Your mind starts thinking of ways to get more enjoyment. And more. And you come across an awesome discovery, which probably will be counterintuitive for you at first. You can absolutely love yourself right now, and love your life right now, and be inspired to better yourself from that place of self-acceptance. Facts versus interpretation, or presence versus appreciation. It's a matter of retraining your mind. Being a yes and being a no are simply choices. Neither is objective, they're both equally imaginary. For me, if you've already mastered this, awesome, you're on your way. It was a conscious process of retraining myself into being a yes. Being a no felt real, and I see a lot of negative people who convince themselves their pessimism and negativity makes them objective. Objectivity is merely observing the facts, it's seeing what is presence. How you interpret what is a choice. There's nothing any more factually accurate about looking at yourself objectively and feeling that you love yourself, or looking at yourself objectively and feeling that you're broken and there's something wrong with you. In fact, chances are that negative interpretation is actually false, because it isn't your interpretation. Finding the voice. This is a killer exercise for learning to dispel the no. For this exercise, sit quietly, be still, with your spine straight. Breathe slowly and deeply. Get to a point where the chattering monkeys in your mind get quiet, the thoughts slow down and you feel yourself. Breathe deeper, breathe slower. Do the basic grounding exercise. After another minute, think of something about yourself you feel is wrong or broken. Ask yourself, what is it about this part of you that is you believing this is broken? Don't worry about what the response is, listen to the voice. Whose voice is that? It's probably not yours. Did noticing that cause a shift? How many things are you accepting about yourself that aren't even your own thoughts and beliefs? You'll find it's pretty much everything. Being a yes through affirmation. You can start these right away, and I recommend you do. You can get the benefit of being a yes while you're still releasing the no. If it helps, think of your mindset like a balance scale and your scale is tipped all the way over to no. You can take weight off the no side, and add weight to the yes side, simultaneously. Eventually the scale will start evening out and then you'll feel it shift so it's more yes than no, and you'll find this affirmation and release process becomes a lot easier. So keep making the effort and stay focused on the goal of being a yes. It will happen for you, and that will lead to more breakthroughs. For being a yes to yourself and your life, I recommend using a mirror. Stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, focus on your right eye, and be with yourself for 5 minutes. While holding that gaze, feel into that feeling of completely loving and accepting yourself, even if you have to imagine it. After the 5 minutes, spend another 5 minutes saying out loud things you love about yourself. Perhaps qualities of your inner hero that you want more of in your life, or ways you are when you are in a peak state. Make the affirmations in the present tense, and make them positive. Examples would be I feel deep presence in any situation, or I am a fun, carefree guy, or even I love myself. And really embody the feelings of living that affirmation as you say it. Live in the moment, love the moment. Another Destin-Gearic exercise. I could have put this in the present section, but it works here, too. When going about your day, keep reminding yourself that this is your moment. The moment you're in is all there is. Consciously shift your focus from getting through this moment to the experience you think you want to. How can I get the most enjoyment out of this moment? And then think about how you can get more. And more. How can you really love the moment? Breathe deeply. Even deeper. Enjoy the feeling of the air massaging your lungs, giving you life. How can you enjoy each breath more than the last? Feel the sensations in your body. How good it feels inside your body. Ask yourself how you can enjoy that more, and let your creative mind come up with ways. Notice the beauty around you. Find the beauty in things you didn't think before were beautiful. Feel how everything going on around you, and in you, is your gift to enjoy. If you find yourself resisting that concept, maybe there's an opportunity for an affirmation, or a release. Challenge your creative subconscious, let it do the work for you. Take a minute, get still, breathe, and with your eyes open or closed actually ask your creative subconscious, out loud, to come up with ways for you to enjoy yourself, enjoy your life and enjoy the moment more, and that the answers can be both conscious and unconscious. Then go do something else and trust your subconscious mind. You may discover something you hadn't thought of that you'd really enjoy doing, or just find yourself feeling better about yourself for no reason. Practicing spirituality. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, or how to practice your belief. I have my own personal belief system which has evolved over time. I am definitely not here to sell you on a religion, nor to say that only this or that set of beliefs is compatible with this growth work. However, what I will say is going to go completely counter to most of the pickup work out there, which seems to go out of its way to trash religion and sees it as the enemy to male growth, sexual fulfillment and personal evolution. I believe that a strong, open, personal, authentic connection with the divine is essential to any real personal growth. How that manifests itself in you is a very personal matter. For me, it shows up as a feeling, a genuine, experiential sensation, a manifestation of pure love and an awareness and connection to that love in the world around me. Perhaps you already have developed a strong spiritual connection. Find ways to integrate that connection to the immortal, to the divine, with the work you are doing. If you haven't experienced that connection, or it's not as strong, make nurturing your spirituality a priority. Find inspirational connections to the divine. Begin noticing the divine in every person around you, in every living thing. A lot of self-help people actively discourage organized religion, which is unfortunate. I believe true authenticity is spiritually based. Your core self, the basis for every authentic personal transformation you will ever experience, is divine. And as you go through this work and strengthen that connection to your divine self, and gain appreciation for the love manifesting all around you, it makes your spiritual practice all the more powerful, which in turn energizes your growth. The more I have consciously strengthened my spiritual connection, the more transformative my personal work has become. There is an awesome, loving power far greater than our own, and which is actually a part of all of us. Get to know that power. I haven't been a big churchgoer, but as I was in the middle of some of this amazing transformative work, I went to an Easter service at the neighborhood church. I hadn't experienced a group religious experience since my breakthroughs, so this was the first time I could feel this shared spiritual connection with the congregation, and really felt the power of the divine in that group of people acting in harmony. It was a breathtaking experience and it supercharged my personal growth. So am I saying follow all the rules and live a repressed life to be happy? Hell no. I'm saying connect to the source, in the way that works for you. What you do at that point is up to you. You might find value in diving deeply into a chosen religion, you may pursue a certain religion with a different level of intensity, you may find value in many religions, or explore spirituality in your own practice outside of an organized religion. But make it a practice, make it a part of your life, and learn to understand the role your spiritual connection plays in living a truly authentic life. Enjoy the journey. Chapter 7, Continuing Your Journey. Energy. The practice of moving energy can be life-transforming. When you're directing energy in your body, you're literally dealing with the life force in your body. You're connecting with the energy in other people, the energy in the world around you, and the spiritual world. Learning and practicing subtle energy movement will deepen your presence, enhance your connections with other people, transform your sex life, improve your health, even manifest your visions into reality. I want you to begin this practice from wherever you are currently at in life. If you happen to be a Qigong master, you may feel you know all this, and that's fine. Skim it over, see if there's anything new you can use, or if there's a way you can integrate your practice into other aspects of your life. Maybe you're using energy movement for health, but not so much in relation to sexuality, or vice versa. See if there are ways you can expand your practice to fill up all areas of your life. Energy doesn't disappear just because you're doing something different. It's always there, ready to be of service. How can you use more of it in more areas of your life? If you're new to this, great. Guess what? I'm pretty new to this myself. So begin by putting aside your prior beliefs and using your imagination. As you begin this work, imagine feeling energy moving until you feel the energy moving. Where intention goes, energy flows. Place your intention on what you desire to feel, and the feeling will follow. Because energy is something most of us haven't allowed ourselves to feel, we have to train ourselves to feel it. This isn't about creating something that's fake, it's getting you used to paying attention to the energy that's flowing in your body. By imagining the energy flowing, you're putting your attention on the energy channels that already exist in you. Eventually your senses will slow down and become more sensitive to what's going on, then your mind will naturally shift from imaginary to real. Imagination is like the training wheels on the bike, so imagine it until you feel it, and you will feel it, perhaps differently than you imagined it. I learned most of the energy exercises here from my mentor Destin Gierk. Some I've learned through other practices, and some I've modified. You'll find as you go through these there are different ways that work better for you. Soon you'll find, like me, your energy work, while it started here, has become quite a bit different. As you do these exercises, I also invite you to incorporate other practices you've learned through this course, and to conversely use energy work to enhance your other practices. The variations and applications of subtle energy are only limited by your imagination. Energy stretching exercise. This is a great way to get introduced to the concept of energy, one I learned from Destin Gierk. Start by rubbing your hands together quickly for about 20 seconds. Then slap them together 5 or 6 times. Now hold them, palms facing each other, about 2 inches apart from each other. You'll feel energy between your hands. It might feel warm, or a tingle, or an electric current, but you'll feel it. Place your intention on that energy, build up the energy between your hands. After about a minute, inhale and slowly try moving your hands apart. You'll notice a stretching feeling. There's resistance to your hands moving apart. Don't move your hands too hard or fast, but gently stretch your hands apart while still feeling the tension, maybe bring them further apart by an inch at first, to get used to it. Now try exhaling and pressing your hands together. Don't actually bring your hands further together, just feel them bumping against the energy. Keep bringing your intention to bringing more energy into that space between your hands. With each inhale, bring your hands further out while feeling the energy. With each exhale, gently push against the ball of energy without moving your hands significantly closer together. Keep doing this and see how large you can make your ball of energy. When you feel you've done enough, let your energy ball go. As you progress with this work, try simply placing your hands close together and generate the energy ball with your intention alone. Hold your hands close together and focus your attention on the energy in the space between your hands until you feel the ball of energy, then play with expanding it the same way as before. As you become more comfortable with moving and using energy, you can play with bringing that ball of energy into you for whatever purpose you wish. You find what works for you as you go through the practices, and you might discover ways to enhance your work with the balls of energy. Energy movement and intention. The key to moving energy is intention. Focus your awareness on the energy and on moving the energy through intention. This may require some imagination at first, but it will feel more comfortable through practice. Keep your awareness on your body, on the energy moving in your body, and your intention for that energy. This is a practice that both requires presence and cultivates it, so give this your complete attention, eliminating other distractions and allowing your thoughts to pass through your mind without notice. Continue directing your awareness on your energy, even if it's just a small movement in one part of your body, or if it feels very weak, keep practicing. Microcosmic orbits. This is a tantric energy exercise. For this exercise you can be sitting or standing. Begin by breathing slowly and deeply and being grounded and centered for the first exercise. Eventually you can make this a daily practice wherever you go. Imagine the sexual energy in your body flowing in a circular pattern, from your perineum place between your scrotum and your anus, the root chakra, up your spine, over the top of your head to your third eye as you exhale. Hold the energy at the top of your inhale for a moment, feel it in your third eye. Place your tongue on the roof of your mouth and inhale, feeling the energy run down the front of your body, through your heart, through your genitals and returning to your root chakra. Continue inhaling and exhaling, moving the energy in a circular pattern through your body. You may have to imagine this at first, to train yourself to feel the energy flowing. You can use your fingers to trace the movement through its flow, up your spine, over your head, down your throat to your heart, down through your body to your root chakra. After getting the feeling, practice this throughout your day. For a fluid flow of energy, use the circular breath. This can be used as part of your masturbatory exercise. As you feel energy building up, use the microcosmic orbit to move the energy through your body. Energy and sound. Practice using different sounds to move energy through your body. Vary the pitch, the volume, use a variety of different sounds as you move energy. As you're feeling energy moving, give it a sound. This is a great masturbation practice. As you masturbate, give each of your levels of arousal a sound. As you feel energy and excitement building, give that energy a sound and feel the sound moving that energy through your body. Use sound the same way during sex, giving your arousal a sound and moving energy with your voice during sex. Guys tend to be pretty quiet during sex, but women really love it when guys are vocal, so make some noise. It'll open up your energy channels and bring your awareness away from your thoughts. When practicing the microcosmic orbits, whether on its own, while masturbating, or during sex, practice using the sound of your voice to help move the energy. Again, I can only scratch the surface of what I cover in the phone booth. This is the basics. Just imagine what's possible in the complete course. Whether you decide to purchase my book or not, I hope you take these practices seriously and make this your starting point on an awesome life-transforming journey. Reframing your sexuality. Think about what sex means to you. What comes to mind? Before I got into this practice, I saw sex as traditional sex, clothes off, with a partner, and with the goal, orgasms. Pretty much the entire purpose in my mind, from the first interaction, to foreplay, to sex, was with the holy grail of orgasm somewhere in mind. And for most people, this is, in one way or another, what sex means. In that world, masturbation is a second best option, a way to get off when real sex with a real person isn't available. In that world, there's a certain level of frustration when things are not headed toward the goal. If you look at most programs that teach sex and techniques, the programs are almost entirely orgasm-oriented. Most media drives home the same message. There is also a certain overarching mindset that sex is a performance, that there's some kind of grading system, that it's an evaluation of who people are. And you hear the stories of people grading each other on how good they are at sex. And then there are those who tell us sex is bad or wrong, dirty, you'll go to hell. It has to be a certain way with only certain people in a certain context, and maybe then even only for certain purposes. All kinds of social BS going on that makes sex this stressful, high-pressure, big-deal thing. Can you see how the ego, whether it's your own ego or the collective ego of society, really fucks up something that, at its core, is beautiful and pleasurable? Now, take a moment and imagine a world where all that BS doesn't exist. There is no right or wrong way to enjoy your sexuality. There's nobody grading your performance, because there is no performance. There is no way you're supposed to have, or not have, sex. You're just being, in the way you were really meant to be, with or without others who are also being. Pretty nice, huh? This next practice is edgy, but I guarantee if you actually do this one, and take it seriously, it will empower you in ways you didn't know were possible. And it'll probably make you a better lover as well. Which can't hurt. Making a date with yourself. At least twice a week, set aside a half hour to 45 minutes to be with yourself. Treat yourself well, bring in whatever elements make you feel good, music, food, drink, aromas, anything that makes you feel good. And play with items that bring in new sensations. Something that feels good against your skin, or massages you in a certain way. Play with different textures and feelings. Your entire purpose is to make yourself feel really good. Destin Gierek calls this erotic self-exploration. For me, it was as much an exercise in empowerment as an exploration. The more I've engaged in this exercise, the more I've felt free from needing sex, the more empowered I've felt as a man and as a sexual being. This is changing the way you look at masturbation, from a quick release to an enjoyable experience in its own right. There is no goal to this. If you come, great. Use the rest of the time to find ways to keep bringing yourself a pleasure in a sensual, erotic way. If you don't come, that's great too. This takes the pressure off of a goal of an orgasm. This isn't about an orgasm, this is about you giving and receiving as much pleasure for yourself in as many different ways as possible. Get naked and find a comfortable, private space. If you need to, set the alarm and don't cheat, give yourself the full allotted time. This is time for you. Breathe deeply and slowly. Use at least one hand to please yourself in parts of your body aside from your genitals. You can have both hands away from your genitals, but at least one hand away from your genitals. So you see, there is no goal, but a few rules. One is no more than one hand on your genitals. The other is no porn and keeping your mind away from fantasy. Maintain your awareness on yourself in this moment, what you are feeling now. Notice your levels of arousal, how it increases and decreases. And if you find yourself thinking I can't get an erection without porn or fantasy. Who said anything about an erection being a requirement? You may find yourself having to go on a no porn/a no fantasy diet for a while where you'll have a few of these dates. You're giving yourself a pleasure in not getting or staying erect. Redirect your thoughts away from frustration or any negative impression. This is good. You're retraining yourself to actually receive pleasure. Keep at it. Eventually, you'll find yourself becoming aroused from being present with your pleasure, instead of checked out with porn or fantasy, and masturbation will feel like a whole new experience for you. And it'll open up other pleasure channels as well. You'll find you're actually enjoying sex, perhaps for the first time, instead of being somewhere else. Try a variety of techniques and tools for giving yourself pleasure. Use different strokes, different items, maybe articles of clothing, or things that feel good in the moment. Different pressures and forms of pleasure will feel better or worse at different points of arousal. Try slapping or pinching different parts of your body and noticing how it feels. Use different pressures and rhythms with each hand. Use varying strokes and body movements. Use sound, lots of it. All the while, breathe deeply. Notice your breath, savor your breath. Notice how you're feeling in the moment. Notice everything around you. Immerse yourself in as many senses as possible. If you notice yourself becoming entirely focused on your cock and approaching orgasm, redirect your awareness to other parts of your body, to your breath. Practice presence, and remember this is your time, for you. Nothing is supposed to happen, nothing is supposed to not happen. Be in the moment, enjoy the moment. And keep some awareness on what feels good at each point of your arousal. chances are, if something you're doing is enjoyable for you, there's a comparable touch or technique your partner will enjoy. The more in tune you are with your own pleasure, and truly receiving the pleasure you are giving yourself in full awareness, the more you'll be aware of how you're pleasing your partner. The more present you are when having sex with yourself, the more present you will be when having sex with a partner. Most importantly, though, you'll develop a sense of your own sexuality, apart from any woman, which is entirely yours. When masturbation becomes pleasurable in its own right, and not a second-best option, sex doesn't have the same power over you. You're not dependent on someone else for your fulfillment, and when you're not needing something from others for yourself, that frees you to actually enjoy them as they are. And while not trying to get something, people can enjoy you as you are. When there isn't an artificially imposed goal, magic can happen in the moment. Then you start finding yourself in that place of openness and freedom where sex is a joy and you're free to feel great about yourself and your sexuality without someone else's permission or approval. Making love with the world, expanding your sexuality. Sexuality is not something that has to sit in a container or only comes out at certain times under certain circumstances. Practice seeing sexuality as a way of living, not something that happens only when the clothes come off. Start seeing every interaction with the world as a form of sex. Start perceiving the world, everything you see, you touch, you taste, you feel, as a form of foreplay. Bring your desire into everything you enjoy, and bring enjoyment into every moment you experience. Feel yourself making love with the world, with desire and passion. Instead of trying to contain your sexuality, expand it into everything. Feel your sexual energy flowing through you throughout the day. As you expand your awareness of yourself through masturbation, you'll feel that sexual energy flowing in you during experiences that didn't used to seem sexual. Go with at. Expand on it. Keep bringing out that energy in all moments. I'm not saying screw everything that moves. The open, sexual mindset I'm describing is perfectly compatible with a monogamous relationship, or any other relationship arrangement you might have, including no relationship. This is about owning your desire fully, completely separate from gratification. You don't need permission to feel desire, you don't need something to be happening to own your desire, you just feel it and express it, a genuine lust for life. By expanding your desire, you're eliminating attachment, which gets in the way of pleasure and desire. If you're just being your sexy self, making love with the world, whether or not some woman sleeps with you isn't going to make a big difference. You know nobody and nothing can take away your sexuality, your options keep expanding. And a funny thing happens when you're in that state of just being sexy, people respond. The thing is, you can't do this in the hopes of getting a response, you have to do it because you love that way of being, even if no women ever wanted to have sex with you for the rest of your life. But this kind of sexual confidence is attractive. But focus on life, not the lay. This is just the beginning. If you went through this mini course and embodied the lessons, you've undoubtedly experienced some profound shifts. You have a taste of the possibilities for dramatic personal transformation. But it is just scratching the surface. Now that you have begun your transformation, give yourself the gift of real, complete transformation. Give yourself the gift of the hero that you have dreamed of being. Imagine profound presence, stillness or mind, confidence, purpose, sexiness. Everything you could imagine. You've experienced just a small taste of what's possible. Now it's time to step into a new you. Buy the phone booth today and become the hero of your dreams. The hero women want. The hero the world needs. The hero inside you. Your hero is calling. Are you ready? Order now, /phone booth. I also want you to tell me about your personal journey, your discoveries, your questions and feedback. Feel free to contact me, Rit@herotransformation.com.